Guys, this is unbelievable on what Maurice did to Sonia Uche in public. Please do not skip any part of this video because we are going to tell you what is going on between these two individuals that John Econom came to in support of Maurice in Ree's case. Guys, have you ever watched someone beg for forgiveness so publicly that you felt embarrassed for them? You know that cringeworthy moment when someone who messed up decides the whole world needs to witness their apology. Well, that's exactly what happened with Maurice and Sonia Uche, and John Econom had something to say about it. Maurice didn't just say sorry quietly like most normal people would. No, he went full-blown public with his apology to Sonia, and honestly, it's got everyone talking. The big question everyone's asking is, was this real emotion or just damage control? And why did John Econom feel like he needed to jump into the conversation? Let's break down what actually happened here. Maurice and Sonia Uche were apparently in a relationship. Things went south, and Maurice messed up big time. Instead of doing what regular folks do, calling her up, texting a heartfelt message, maybe showing up with her favorite food and flowers, Maurice decided to apologize where everyone could see it. Social media. The internet. The place where nothing ever dies and screenshots live forever. And then John Econom, who obviously has opinions about how grown people should handle their business, decided to react to the whole thing. Not just a simple okay, cool reaction, but the kind that makes you put down your phone and pay attention because someone's about to drop some truth bombs. Here's the thing about apologizing in public, it's weird, right? It's like watching someone have a private moment except they've invited the whole neighborhood to watch. When Maurice put his apology out there for everyone to see, it stopped being just about him and Sonia. It became everybody's business. Random people who don't even know them suddenly have opinions about whether he deserves forgiveness or should be kicked to the curb. That's what happens when you air your dirty laundry online. You're basically asking millions of strangers to judge your relationship, and trust me, people love to judge. Everyone suddenly becomes a relationship expert, a therapist, and a life coach all rolled into one. John Econom's reaction probably hit on something we all think about when we see these public apologies. Is this person really sorry, or are they just sorry they got caught? Is Maurice genuinely trying to win back Sonia's heart, or is he more worried about what people think of him? Because let's be real, when you apologize in front of thousands or millions of people, you're not just asking one person to forgive you. You're asking everyone to say you're still a good guy. You want people to see you as redeemable. That's completely different from sitting down with someone face to face, looking them in the eye, and doing the hard work of actually fixing what you broke. John probably saw this difference clearly, and that's likely what his reaction was all about. The funny part about all this is that we treat other people's relationship problems like they are our favorite TV show. Maurice and Sonia's drama isn't special or unique, it's just the latest episode of social media relationships gone wrong. We've all seen this play out before. First, there are the mysterious posts that hint something's wrong. Then people notice they unfollowed each other, and the internet detectives go crazy trying to figure out what happened. Next comes the vague statements that say a lot without really saying anything. And finally, the grand finale, the public apology video or post. It's so predictable at this point that you could make a game out of it. John Econom's reaction wasn't just about Maurice and Sonia, it was about this whole culture we've created where private pain becomes public entertainment. But let's think about what Maurice's apology really means. On one hand, he's a guy who made mistakes and wants to fix things. That's understandable. On the other hand, it's interesting to see a man being this emotional and vulnerable in public. Usually, guys are told to be tough, to not show too much emotion, to keep their problems to themselves. So when Maurice decided to put all his feelings out there for the world to see, he was either being really brave or really foolish, depends on who you ask. John Econom's reaction might have touched on this. Is this kind of public vulnerability actually admirable, or is it manipulative? Because there's a thin line between being genuinely sorry and using your emotions to guilt someone into forgiving you. When does a real apology turn into emotional blackmail? Maurice and Sonia's situation, whatever really happened between them, shows us something we all know but sometimes forget: no relationship is perfect. We all mess up. We all have baggage, insecurities, bad habits, and we all end up hurting the people we care about sometimes. Maurice clearly did something wrong, that's obvious from the apology. But the fact that he felt he had to apologize publicly makes you wonder about the pressure of being famous. When your relationship is partly for show, all those cute photos, romantic posts, and looking perfect together online, what happens when reality doesn't match the image? Do you owe your followers an explanation? Do you have to tell them what went wrong? Or is your private life actually private? John Econom probably understands that famous people's relationships work differently from regular relationships where your breakup doesn't become trending news. Here's something crazy to think about: forgiveness has become a spectator sport. Sonia isn't just deciding whether to forgive Maurice for whatever he did. She's making that decision while thousands or millions of people watch and judge her every move. If she forgives him, some people will say she's mature and kind. Others will call her weak and stupid for taking him back. If she doesn't forgive him, some will cheer her for respecting herself. Others will say she's cold and heartless. There's literally no way for her to win because people will always have different opinions. John Econom's reaction probably recognized this impossible situation Sonia's in. The poor woman can't even deal with her feelings privately. Every choice she makes will be picked apart and analyzed by people who don't even know her. That's not real forgiveness, that's making a decision under pressure while everyone watches. The hilarious thing, and yes, there's something darkly funny about all this, is how much we all care about other people's relationship drama. Why do we care so much? Why did John Econom feel the need to comment? Why are we talking about it right now? It's because relationship problems are something everyone can relate to. We've all been Maurice at some point, desperate, full of regret, willing to do almost anything to fix what we messed up. We've all been Sonia too, hurt, confused, trying to figure out if the person who hurt us deserves another shot. And we've definitely all been John Econom, the friend or observer watching someone else's mess and having all kinds of thoughts about it. These stories matter to us because they remind us of our own relationship struggles, our own questions about love and whether people can really change. What this whole Maurice situation and John's reaction really show us is how messy modern relationships get when you mix in fame, social media, and everyone's opinions. Remember when people used to mess up, apologize, and either work things out or move on without the whole world knowing? Those days are gone. Now everything is content for the internet. Your relationship is content. Your arguments are content. Your breakup is content. Your apology is content. And everyone feels like they have the right to watch it all and give their opinion. Is this healthy? Probably not. But it's not going away either. We're too deep into this social media world to go back. John Ekanam's reaction, whatever he actually said, is part of this new world where everyone has a voice and uses it to comment on everyone else's life. We are more connected than ever before, but we are also more in each other's business than ever before. The real lesson here, if we're being honest, is about the price you pay for living your life publicly. Every famous person has to decide, how much of my real life do I share online, and how much do I keep private? Maurice chose to share his relationship. He chose to share his apology. Those choices come with consequences, like John Ekanam and thousands of other people reacting and having opinions. But here's what often gets forgotten in all this drama: these are real people with real feelings and real heart. Sonia is genuinely hurt. Maurice is genuinely sorry, at least we hope he is. Their relationship really matters to them, no matter how it looks to us scrolling through our phones. That's important to remember when we're quick to judge or quick to insert ourselves into situations that really aren't about us. John Ekanam's reaction might have been supportive or critical or somewhere in between, but it added another layer to something that was already complicated enough. So here we are at the end of this messy story about love, mistakes, and very public begging for forgiveness. Maurice has apologized publicly. John has given his reaction. Sonia is probably somewhere trying to figure out what the hell to do with all of this. And we're all here watching, commenting, having opinions, and probably not learning our lesson because we'll do the same thing when the next celebrity relationship drama happens. But maybe there's something useful in thinking about why these stories grab our attention so much. Maybe it's because they remind us that love is hard for everyone, famous or not, rich or poor, public or private. Maybe it's because they show us that everybody makes mistakes and forgiveness is never simple. Or maybe it's just because we're all a little bit nosy and secretly thankful that our own relationship disasters don't play out for the whole world to see. Whatever the reason, this whole Maurice and Sonia situation, with John Ekanam weighing in, gives us something to think about when it comes to how we love, how we say sorry, and how we pick up the pieces when things fall apart. So here's my question for you: what would you do? If you messed up badly, would you apologize publicly or keep it private? If someone hurt you, would you want them begging for forgiveness where everyone could see, or would you want the privacy to work things out without an audience? Think about it. And maybe be grateful that your relationship drama stays between you and the people actually involved, not splashed across the internet for everyone to analyze. Now go check on your own relationship, make sure it's good before it becomes tomorrow's trending topic. And hey, before you go, subscribe, comment, share and like our videos.